I'm now going to introduce finalist number 2, which is Andy Johnson, Chief Data Officer at Adstra USA. Over to you, Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy Johnson, Chief Data Officer of Adstra, and today I'm presenting the distinctively unique way that our partner, Cox Automotive, has utilized Adstra's enterprise identity and client-side identity resolution capabilities to solve not so unique problems that most enterprises experience every day. Next slide, please. Cox Automotive has more than 20 business units that sell software solutions to more than 40,000 automotive dealerships. Their software solutions help to transform the car buying experience in web, advertising, in-store, and CRM applications. There are a couple of their more well-known consumer-facing brands that some folks from America might recognize, like Auto Trader and Kelley Blue Book. Next slide, please. Cox Automotive has vast amounts of disconnected first-party and client data across those 20 brands and 40,000 clients. This data is collected in all forms, from digital anonymous to PII-based, and there are fragmented forms of each. They also have 4,000 advertisers across display, video, social, and connected TV. They have web personalization clients across 12,000 domains and over 7,000 CRM instances. Across all those different channels, there were different partners, lots of contracts, lots of SOWs. It was super fragmented. There was no fidelity across those partners, and they had little control. And things moved really slowly when we're working across that number of partners. Next slide, please. Cox leadership decided they were no longer going to send their first party and partner data out to a fragmented ecosystem of partners where they lose visibility, fidelity, speed, and control. They wanted to create a unified platform in-house to normalize and connect data across those billions of online visits that converted to 80 million leads, over 100 million sales and service records. And they wanted all of that data connected to second or third party data at the person and household level. Now, this is a really important point here. Why person and household level data? Because in today's world, all media is quickly becoming addressable at the person level or the household level. They knew that to win, they could not rely on decades-old techniques of putting a customer into a segment or projecting a sample against a panel to predict an outcome. They needed to understand me, Andy Johnson. They needed to understand my family unit, and they need to understand all of you. Next slide, please. So how do you do that, right? Cox installed Adstra's enterprise identity platform, Connecta, inside of their instance of AWS, client side. What this does is it allows Cox Automotive, not some partner that they send their data to, but Cox Automotive, to connect and resolve consumer identity across all realms of identity, terrestrial to digital, digital to digital, householding, any crosswalk that you can imagine, and then enrich that data across second or third party data. Data orchestration functions, from cleaning and normalizing, resolving, keying, linking, creating a persistent key enrichment, they can all be performed by Cox, and their data never has to leave their environment to do it. It creates a holistic view of the customer, and you all know when you create a holistic view of the consumer, it creates and unlocks a number of use cases. Let's talk about a few of those. Next slide, please. Where they started, one that you all know and love, and Matt talked about it, insights. Cox is now able to produce a holistic real-time prediction about a consumer in the moment that they are engaging with that consumer. Then they've been able to produce real-time predictive models that have up to 90% accuracy of a consumer's likelihood to buy. Next slide. Activation. Cox's software then can make the leads and predictions available to allow for a curated consumer experience, either online or in-store. Content can be personalized click by click. They can activate across all the channels you see on the right side of the screen, but most important component here is that this personalization is done in the first party context in a platform they control. It's essentially future-proofed against things like cookie deprecation or ad blockers. Next slide. So let's quickly go over the solution overview again. An embedded omni-channel identity graph with full hygiene, resolution, connection, tagging, and enrichment capabilities inside of the Cox environment, enabling them to resolve, connect, and enrich across all first and third party assets. It reduces the complexity of working with a web of vendors, and it gives them ultimate speed and control. So that all sounds cool. Next slide, though. This is the cool part. So if I put anybody asleep, this is where you should pay attention, right? what happens when you work in a controlled environment with a consistent way of resolving and keying, where you're not working with a fragmented cross-section of vendors. The Cox Drive IQ engine is calculated to deliver an incremental $85 million in revenue in 2022. How do you get to 85 million? That graphic on the left represents the 5x increase in connectivity that they achieved. That flat line is the result they used to see by previously working with outsourced identity firms that you all know well, and they were losing fidelity in every hop. That's why you can't create incrementality, you can't create scale, because each time you move to a new vendor, you lose some fidelity and you lose some scale. The connectivity must be accurate, and the numbers on the right show how it enabled lead conversion. Accurate connectivity at scale enabled value per visit and ad targeting to increase over 300%. Email open and click-through rates increased astronomically. I think one of those is like nine times. And lead forms completion increased 216% with a 4 times higher likelihood to pencil and submit a deal. That $85 million will continue to grow as Cox unlocks new use cases. Next slide. This innovation, it not only protects the enterprise's most precious asset, their customers, it enables a more seamless and personalized experience between brands and consumers. It does that while giving those brands ultimate control with speed to market that they've never been able to experience. We're proud to have worked with Cox Automotive as the first brand in a line of hundreds that will take control of identity resolution on their side of the firewall. I think what you're seeing today is what I believe to be a paradigm-changing moment in how this work will be performed in the future. We're excited to be a part of it. We're really excited to work with Cox Automotive on this project. Thanks for your time today, and I'm looking forward to any questions that you have.